You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for? That boy is mine.
Are you ready?
Creed. By overwhelming demand, the Summer of '99 tour returns. July 27th, FedEx Forum. With very special guest, Daughtry. And Mammoth. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Creed with Daughtry and Mammoth. The Summer of '99 tour.
1, 2, 3. Ready, go.
Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right. I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish. I'm speaking to you from the studio beside the Built Ford Tough studio, FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. We moved for the week. Bennett Doyle's right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can.
Well, Daddy lost most everything on horse, whiskey, and wedding rings.
And I hope you didn't expect your Memphis Grizzlies to go undefeated out in the Las Vegas Summer League, because if that were the goal, that got messed up on Friday afternoon. The Grizzlies lost the opener. That was on Friday, but they bounced back in Game 2 Las Vegas Summer League. That was late Saturday night. Morant made an appearance. He talked on TV. Also answered an interesting question from Michael Wallace, senior editor, Grind City Media. We'll talk about all of it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. In the next segment, in about 20 minutes, I'm going to be joined by Michael Eaves. He, of course, hosts SportsCenter for ESPN. Michael Eaves is going to join me in the next segment. I'll talk to him about a number of things, including a report that the Los Angeles Lakers made Luka Doncic aware of an ownership change, but never actually gave LeBron James, the king, the NBA's all-time scoring leader, a heads up. Interesting development, I guess. Michael Eaves will be here in about 20 minutes. I'll talk to him about that and a number of other things. When Michael Eaves get out of here, we're going to take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we're going to discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, the Indiana Fever improved to 2-1 since Caitlin Clark returned from injury, with a 102-83 victory over Paige Beckers and the Dallas Wings, and a high-profile showdown on ABC this weekend. We'll get you caught up on all the WNBA action. We'll do it in about 40 minutes. Auburn football coach Hugh Freeze has defended his golf hobby. He likes to play golf. Among criticisms from some fans, fans don't like him playing so much golf. I'll tell you what he said. We'll do that in just a bit. Naomi is your new WWE Women's World Champion after cashing in last night. Money in the Bank cash in over Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. I love it when people cash in. There ain't much I like more in wrestling than a good cash in. Meantime, Goldberg's career came to an end down in Atlanta, and Seth Rollins might have suffered a serious knee injury. We'll show you that. A lot of big wrestling developments this weekend. We'll spend some time on that a little later on in the show. Amanda Anisimova, the 23-year-old, tennis player from New Jersey we talked about on Friday. She had a chance this weekend, as I told you, to become the first American woman since Serena Williams in 2016 to win a singles title at Wimbledon. Big moment, huge opportunity. Oh, buddy, it did not go well. I'll share the numbers with you in the second hour. And the Home Run Derby is set for tonight down at Truist Park in Cobb County. ECS graduate Brent Rooker, he's going to be in it. I'll run you through the odds for each competitor. We'll do that during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's carryout, and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a whole bunch to get to, but I did want to start with the Las Vegas Summer League, and not necessarily because the Grizzlies went 1-1 this weekend out in the desert because, whatever. Look bad, and if you want the summary, here it is. Look bad in Game 1, look better in Game 2, whatever. To me, the most notable thing that happened out in Las Vegas as it pertains to this franchise is that John Morant was there and he spoke publicly for the first time, I believe, since exit interviews. He was asked about a number of things, including the Desmond Bane trade. He's the face of the franchise. He had interesting things to say. We'll get into that in just a second. But before we do, Bennett, I know you sat in studio, like right there, for Game 1 and Game 2 Las Vegas Summer League. So you've had your eyes on this more than most. If you'd like to share any thoughts you have on the first 2 games, this would be a perfect opportunity for you to do it, and it's good to see you.
It's good to see you, too, in this weird setting. I'm not used to this. But what
are you comfortable? You look uncomfortable over there.
Well, a couple things started going awry.
Yeah, I think part of the reason you look uncomfortable over there is my fault. I apologize.
Yeah.
We don't need to let the audience know how I might have screwed you up.
That's okay. You scared me there for a second.
If Bennett looks like he's confused, trust that it's got something to do with me, but I think we've settled in. We're in a good place now. We're good now. I want you to get comfortable. Do you feel comfortable?
I feel comfortable. Okay. Yes, I'm good. I'm here. Okay, so, yeah, I mean, I thought that Game 1 was disappointing. I think we all did. The guys that are the second, third-year guys on the team didn't play great. And the offense didn't move well on night 1. So whatever. I thought on Saturday night they looked way better. Obviously Gigi didn't play, but Jalen Wells was struggling through a game and a half going in at the start of Vegas Summer League, and he just busted through in the second half of that game against Portland on Saturday night. I thought that was super positive. When he made his first basket, he even stood there for a second and like shook his head because he was just like, "Are you kidding me? Like, what is going on? I should be dominating here." And he did just that in the second half of that game. So I thought that was super positive. Again, it's hard to make a lot out of Summer League, like you just said, but that would probably be my biggest takeaway.
Gigi Jackson missed Game 2 with a, quote, illness, and I saw some people having fun with that. I just say this. Let he who has never had an illness in Las Vegas in your 20s, let anybody who in their 20s didn't have an illness in Las Vegas, let he cast the first stone.
Right.
Isn't that aren't those the people who are supposed to cast the first stone?
I think so.
Let he who has never, he or she, if we're being honest, let he or she who has never been ill in Las Vegas in your 20s, let he or she cast the first stone.
Yeah.
Can't be me. Can't be me. I've been sick in Vegas so many times, I don't even know how many. I can't keep count.
Now, it'll be interesting to see tomorrow night if he even plays. If I'm just being honest with you, when I saw that, my first thought was they may not even play him again in Summer League. They probably see what they need to see. He's a third-year guy. Like, who cares?
I'm going to leave that up to
That's kind of where I stood on it.
I'm going to leave that up to the franchise. I don't ever have real strong feelings about who should or should not play in the Summer League.
Right.
I don't care that much. I think you can benefit from it. Confidence, getting comfortable with people you might find yourself on a court with down the road, all of these types of things. Obviously, there can be not so great things that come along with it, injuries. But my experience is that basketball players are going to play basketball, whether it's on TV in Las Vegas or in a closed gym at UCLA. Like Jaren Jackson Jr. is recovering right now from surgery, and it happened reportedly in a basketball game. It wasn't in the Las Vegas Summer League. It wasn't on television. But just because he wasn't playing in the Summer League or on television doesn't mean that he wasn't playing basketball.
Right.
Basketball players play basketball. The big social media post that got all the attention with LeBron at the Cleveland Cavaliers practice facility a few weeks ago. Everybody going crazy about that. You know what he was doing there? He's playing basketball.
Yes.
In some form, he was playing basketball.
All right.
So basketball players play basketball. If the organization, I always sort of land on this side of things. The people who are making these decisions, about whether Gigi Jackson plays in Las Vegas or Cedric Coward plays in Las Vegas or Javon Small or Jemai Mashek or Cam Spencer or Jalen Wells or anybody else. They got way more invested in it than I do. All right.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a big decision one way or another. So I'll let them make it. But if you care, the Grizzlies' next summer league game, it won't be today. Yesterday off, today off. Back in action tomorrow night, 9:30 Central tip. Warriors, Summer Warriors, and Summer Grizzlies. And we'll have it right here on the Grind City Media app with the pregame show starting at 9:15. And on the Gigi Jackson illness thing, I'm just having fun with it. He could have had food poisoning. I have no idea.
We wish Gigi well.
We wish him well.
Yep.
Get well soon. I think that's what you're supposed to say. Get well soon. But, buddy, Vegas can make you ill. And that's the point I was trying to make. As somebody who's my favorite thing, like we used to go to Vegas every summer for AAU stuff, and it would somehow coincide with like NBA free agency and or USA basketball. So in addition to all the college basketball reporters who would be out there just covering grassroots stuff and all the best recruits in the country because all the college coaches were out there, you would also have like legitimate NBA reporters who just cover that league, you know, doing live shots for SportsCenter or outside of the arena from USA Basketball or on LeBron's free agency or whatever. And so I can just remember these times where it's like people have to do a 8 a.m. hit on SportsCenter, 8 a.m. Central hit. That's 6 a.m. I would have something to do for somebody, and we would all be standing like outside of arenas or in the lobbies or the forums of arenas at an absurdly early time in Las Vegas, and everybody just looking like hell. Like you could just tell people like, man, if I can get through this hit without getting sick, that'll be a victory. I'll never say names. I mean, you know, turn the mics off, I probably will.
Yep.
But I can tell you somebody who had to do a live hit on television in Las Vegas one morning, and it was like, okay, you've got a 9 o'clock hit, a 10 o'clock hit, an 11 o'clock hit, one of those types of things. And like in between those hits was having to go to the bathroom and get sick.
Nice.
and then like, you know, wipe your face off, get back on. It wasn't me, but I've witnessed it. I've seen that type of thing go down. So who knows what was going on. And there's a lot of illnesses running around Vegas. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And the most obvious thing we could say in this moment is, let's just get well soon. It's just get well soon. Now to Ja Morant. He made an appearance out in Las Vegas. He jumped on the broadcast and talked to an ESPN reporter there. Also met with various local media members, among them Mike Wallace. Michael Wallace, senior editor, Grind City Media, who is with us, of course, every week on Thursdays in the second segment. Mike Wallace is out in Las Vegas right now. You've seen him on our broadcast on the Grind City Media app, and he was able to talk to Ja Morant and ask him specifically about the importance of showing up in Las Vegas as the leader of this franchise, the leader of this team. Kyra, if we got it, let's see that interaction between Michael Wallace and Ja Morant.
Ja, busy summer for you, obviously, but you made the time to come here and check these guys out in Las Vegas. How important is that from a leadership standpoint to be around these guys and just to see what's going on?
I mean, it's different from on TV. Obviously, I know, me being, here in person means a lot, not only to, these guys, but, to the organization as well. For me, to be the leader, of this team, I feel like, it's very important. I took a day trip.
I think it's important. I think it's important for him to be there. I don't know that you have to stipulate you must go. I don't think there has to be orders from the top of the franchise. But if he understands, and he seemed to, that's what his words suggested, that he understands that he's the face of this franchise, he's the leader of this thing, and that as those responsibilities fall on his shoulders, it's important for him to be in Vegas and just show his face and be there in a supportive way. I don't ever want to overstate it, but I'd rather him be there and have that answer to that question than us be sitting here and when we get to a point to where we've run out of things to talk about, me or you ask the other one, so you're surprised Ja hadn't been there yet? What do you make of that? He's going on this world tour for Nike. Are you surprised he couldn't even pop into Vegas and, show support for the new guys connected to this franchise or even the young guys that are out there? I've seen Scottie Pippen Jr. there. I've seen Zach Edey there. Are you surprised John Morant hasn't showed up at all? I'd rather have him there answering that question that way than the alternative. So maybe it doesn't mean everything in the world, but I do think it means something. What do you think it means?
Yeah, I mean, I think he looked thrilled to be there. It does mean something.
Well, he can be thrilled because I get that. And the interview he did live on television, right. Here's the thing.
I get it though.
These things,
I do not. I would be willing to bet he was hoping he'd show up to Summer League and chill with his teammates and maybe not have to do interviews.
There you go.
Yeah,
I bet you both
right?
of these things can be true. Thrilled to be there, or at least happy to be there, or at least understanding of the importance of him being there as the face of the franchise, leader of the thing. I think he can be happy to be doing all of those things, but also would rather just not have to answer these questions.
Yeah.
All right?
I mean, shoot, LeBron had 100 cameras in his face and said, I ain't got shit to say.
That's right. That's right.
So,
that's right.
At least he gave an interview. At least John gave an interview.
LeBron just sort of said, no, I got nothing to talk about. All right? And that's really just him throwing a little fit. That's just LeBron throwing a fit.
You're right.
LeBron's in his fit throwing stage right now, I believe. He's throwing fits. That's the passive aggressive. Show up to a place I know you're going to want to talk to me, but then say I'm not going to talk about it, right? Like, hey, you know what you could do? You could just, if you're LeBron James, you walk into that building, somebody with a microphone is going to want to put you on a camera. So you know that going in. No, I ain't got nothing to talk. Oh, you have a million. And that's the other thing. I ain't got nothing to talk about. You have a million things to talk about. People have a million questions about you.
Yeah, the Lakers just sold for $1 gajillion.
Yeah, at any point, we could sit down and do an hour-long interview with you and never run out of questions.
Right.
All right? You have plenty of stuff to talk about. You just don't want to talk because you're mad, because you're frustrated for a variety of reasons, one of which we might get to Michael Eaves with in the next segment. So LeBron was just like, no, I'm not. At least Ja was like, sure, yeah, I'm here. You want to ask me about Dez? You want to ask me about Yuki? You want to ask me about drafting Cedric Coward? I'm here. So was he the most enthusiastic? Was that the most enthusiastic interview or even most enthusiastic Ja Morant interview I've ever seen? No. But he did it, and he said the right things. If the question is about why are you in Vegas, and he says, because Vegas is amazing, and did you hear Kelly Clarkson just started her new residency, and I didn't want to miss that? Well, those aren't necessarily the type of things I want to hear. They wouldn't bother me too much, but I like hearing what he said better than that, which is, I feel like I needed to be here. Yes. I feel like I needed to be here. That is the next step, or at least a step, in establishing yourself as the type of leader people want you to be. Again, I don't want to overstate it, but can you interpret that as progress? Perhaps. Mm-hmm. Here's a young man who has obviously had ups and downs throughout the early part of his NBA career. It's all well documented. And I think when you have been banged on the way he's been banged on social media and by NBA analysts and fans, and it can be very easy to just shut down and be like, my job is to play basketball. I'll be there when it's time to show up. But I'm not. They don't pay me to go to Summer League. And what? I'm going to walk in there and everybody's going to get their memes out and start making like. I imagine. Maybe I'm just projecting. But if I got banged on the way he gets banged on social media over the past few years, it'd be very easy to just shut down and just be like, just shut it down. And I'm sure he's gone through that. But in that moment, he's not shutting it down. He's showing up. He's showing up. And he's showing up there for his teammates. He's showing up there for his franchise. You ready for this? Showing up there for his front office to show them, I'm here. This is where I feel like I need to be. I know it's where you think I need to be. So I'm here. I'm here. And if anybody's got questions, maybe I won't answer them as enthusiastically as you'd like, but I'll answer them. I won't just shove you aside the way LeBron did. I don't know. It doesn't have to be the biggest thing in the world, but it was more positive than not. I thought it was good. I thought it was good that he was there. I thought it was good that he talked about it the way he did. Michael Eaves is up next.
Have you talked to Norvell since the game?
Yeah, but we're close friends, so it's not one of those. Like, I think it's a little bit.
How long before you said ha 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 ha?
Hey, you sent him a text and said,
cool.
You want the box score? You sent him the box score. You want to see the picture of me in the locker room afterwards?
How close are you? Because it would have taken me literally 30 seconds.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Have you always dreamed of entertaining on the biggest stage in Memphis? The Claw Crew is looking for members to join their team for the 2025-2026 season. Claw Crew members are hardworking, high-energy entertainers who assist Grizzlies home games by hyping up the crowd and much more. Not only do they support the Grizzlies on home games, but also promote in Memphis and across the Mid-South. Open auditions are Saturday, August 9th at FedEx Forum. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions for more information and to register today.
The First Ladies of FedEx Forum, the Grizz Girls, are known across the NBA for setting the standard for professional dance and entertainment, and they are looking for dancers to join their team for the 2025-2026 season. With the chance to gain professional dance experience, collaborate with national and local artists, and connect with the Memphis community, auditioning for the Grizz Girls is an opportunity you do not want to miss. Come show up and show out at open call auditions. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions now for more information.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
These are the Jordan 1, the crystals. These are the shoe that retails for $1,000. Oh, extra crystals. So if your crystals fall off, if your crystals fall off, actually these are the black crystals because they have. So the shoe has black crystals on there as well too. So you get an extra package of black crystals.
The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. On Mondays in the second segment, I'm joined by Michael Eaves. He, of course, among other things, hosts Sports Center for ESPN. They're in the middle of 50 days on the road. He was in his home state of Kentucky last week. I watched some of that. It looked amazing. Michael Eaves, I'm glad you got to have that experience, and I appreciate you being with me right now. How you doing on this Monday morning?
Not too bad, man. It was pretty cool to go back home and, showcase a little bit of Kentucky that maybe some people don't know or just, maybe have a little bit of knowledge about. So that was really cool. Right now, though, I'm actually in Los Angeles. It's ESPYs week. And for the last few years, as you know, Gary, I've held a fundraiser for Stuart Scott's Memorial Cancer Fund through the V Foundation. So we're having that party tonight here in Los Angeles. I'm trying to raise $60,000 between now and Stewart's birthday, which is July 19th, because he would have been 60 years old this year. And 2015 was the year he died. So it's been 10 years since he passed. So looking forward to kicking off a pretty cool event here in Los Angeles tonight.
And I hope his family, and I know that they do appreciate you helping keep his legacy alive. There's a lot of us, we lose friends and colleagues along the way, and we like to say things to ourselves like, I'll never forget or we'll never forget. And then the world just moves on, and you look up and you haven't thought about somebody in a while. I feel personally guilty about that, here and there in different aspects of my life. And I've always really respected, and by respected, I mean admired the way you have helped keep Stewart's legacy alive. I've told this story before, so I won't bore people with it again. But I spent the night hanging out with Stuart Scott one night in New York City, and it was because you brought me into that circle and put me in a room where I didn't belong at the time as a probably 23-year-old commercial appeal reporter. But I just remember just sort of being around him and the energy that he had, and all these years later, watching you still do what you do in his memory is just really admirable. I mean that from my heart, and I hope his family understands that as well.
I appreciate you saying that. And his daughters, Taylor and Sydney, are phenomenal young women. I see them regularly. Sydney's going to be at the event tonight here in Los Angeles. And it is, it's two-pronged, though, Gary, quite honestly. It is,
keeping people reminded of the person that Stuart Scott was, not just in terms of his professional career, but he was just a really good person, right? But his real legacy moving on, the 10 years since his death, is really what his cancer fund is really trying to do, and that's get rid of some of the disparities that fall upon racial lines as it relates to cancer treatment and cancer diagnosis. Black men, our prostate cancer rate way higher than white men. Black women, their breast cancer rate way higher than white women. And also just getting treatment for those individuals is also really skewed on racial lines. And so this fund deals directly with those disparities, trying to find out why those disparities are that way. Is it biological? Is it chemical, things of that nature? Or is it just access? And also it funds Black and brown researchers who are in the field of cancer research. Sometimes it's hard to get the grants for them to do their research. And this fund does that as well. So again, it is about Stewart specifically, but his legacy of how we treat and hopefully end cancer in the future.
Well, again, on behalf of everybody who, we all have family members and loved ones who have been hit with this incredibly tragic disease. And for you to be out there just continuing to spread the word, again, thank you. And I know Stewart's family feels the same way. Let's talk sports. I guess we'll start in Las Vegas Summer League because we were talking about that in the opening segment. I guess the big national headline is after an incredible performance in Game 2 with the Summer Mavericks, Dallas has reportedly decided to set Cooper Flagg down for the rest of the summer. This is not unusual with elite prospects like this. We've seen what we need to see. We don't need to see Cooper Flagg again until the preseason, right?
I'm not sure we even needed to see those two games in Las Vegas, quite honestly. Actually, for the Mavericks and for the league, it probably really set up more as a PR campaign, a marketing campaign to get ready for the opening of the season, because this kid has been the #1 prospect in his age group for quite some time. His freshman year at Duke solidified that as well. So we've seen all we needed to see about this young man. So after these two games, you're like, yeah, he's got what we thought. So let's set him down to get ready for the season. But he is a remarkable talent. And it will be interesting once Kyrie Irving comes back from his knee injury. You have hopefully a healthy Anthony Davis and maybe even a rejuvenated Klay Thompson. Maybe Megan Thee Stallion can put some new energy into him as well. And you put those four together. If you're Dallas, tell me if this is probably not a better combination of what you had prior to Luka leaving. I'm just saying, I think if all things fall together the way they hopefully do, I think you're in a better position. So if you're a Dallas fan, I think you have every reason in the world to be optimistic for this upcoming season.
I am fascinated by the Maverick story because obviously nobody took more of a public beating among front office executives in American professional sports over the past year than Nico Harrison down in Dallas. But then they luck into the Cooper Flagg thing. And don't ever forget, they lucked into it. It was just
100%.
luck.
That is
but
true.
They did luck into it. And ACLs are not Achilles. Kyrie Irving will be back. And throw out a lineup of Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis, here he comes Cooper Flagg, and Klay Thompson, either re-energized or totally worn out by Megan Thee Stallion, one or the other. We'll see. We'll see. But that's an interesting lineup that's not hard for me to imagine, maybe making some noise in the playoffs.
And here's the funny part. All those people that were yelling fire Nico and still doing it, they'll be the first one trying to get tickets to the first game of the year.
That's right.
So fans are funny. But to your point, yes, if everything comes together and you look at the teams in the West, why would they not be in the mix? Why would they not be? I'm not saying they're going to beat the Thunder and win the championship, but they should definitely be in the mix 100%. Again, sometimes things do fall in your lap, Gary. I mean, Shaq fell in the lap of the Orlando Magic. Magic Johnson fell in the lap of the Lakers back in 1980, so 79. So that stuff happens, and it's just about how once you get that break, once you get that opportunity, what do you do with it as an organization? And that's going to be a real test for not only Nico Harrison, but everyone with that organization. Now you have Cooper Flagg with these other, future Hall of Fame vets, and all three of those guys will be in the Hall of Fame we mentioned. What do you do with it going forward?
So there's every few days it feels like a new headline connected to the Lakers and LeBron James. And the latest is that they did give Luka Doncic a heads up. Like, hey, let me tell you, this thing's about to go down, and this thing is an ownership change. They gave Luka Doncic a heads up on that, did not reportedly give LeBron James a heads up on that. What, if anything, are we to make of that?
It tells you that the future of this organization is Luka Doncic and not LeBron James. But who the hell didn't know that? I mean, that is completely obvious to anyone who's tied to that organization, including LeBron. Now, if his feelings are hurt, And maybe the feelings of Rich Paul may be hurt based on the relationship they've had with Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka, up to this moment. I can understand that. But if you're going to check with one person and to give them a heads up, it would have to be the most important person going forward, and that is Luka Doncic. I mean, that's just the nature of it. But again, humans have emotions, and that's where, maybe LeBron is feeling some type of way because, hey, I am still LeBron James. Like, my name matters, not just with this organization, but within the league. I should have been given a heads up as well out of courtesy, but you give it to the guy who's only been here for half a year. So that's where the emotions come in. But if you only had one or two to say something to, it would be Luka Doncic.
Switching gears, I spent yesterday morning watching the Wimbledon final on the men's side. Jannik Sinner over Carlos Alcaraz. Of course, it was a rematch from the incredible 5+ hour final at the French Open. I know it will not work this way, but it feels like 4 Sundays for the next decade, I'm going to watch these two men play tennis against each other for 3 or 4 or 5 hours. This is it. Like, we're here. One of them's 23, one of them's 22. This is our Chris Evert, Martina Navratilova, Federer, Nadal, Djokovic. Like, this is it, and it's not going away. This is really good stuff we're watching.
Every time the sport of tennis specifically has had, those peaks in popularity, it's been when you've had two people that dominate the sport meeting in the slams on a consistent basis. It just is. Every generation of that has sort of had that when it comes to its growth. Now, obviously, you probably won't get those two guys playing every major over the next couple of years, but you expect one of them to be in that final, at least one of them every single year for the next 4 or 5 for sure. But they are so good and they are so talented. And every time they play, regardless of who wins, they give us tremendous theater. Right. And that's what you want as a sports fan. You want the best in the game meeting consistently. And when they do play, you want them to be great. And they've been giving us that for quite some time. And here's the thing. For Sinner to beat Alcaraz on grass, that's a big deal. I mean, Alcaraz is phenomenal on grass, probably better than Sinner head to head. But Sinner stepped up his game. Give him credit to that. He went out there and beat Alcaraz on maybe his best surface. So now you set up for the U.S. Open, also another fast surface. What's that going to look like by the time we get to New York? So if you are a tennis fan or even not a tennis fan, you just want to see the greats of the great go at it, you got to be looking forward to the U.S. Open, those two meeting one more time.
In baseball, the All-Star Game is this weekend, and there's some controversy connected to it. I guess it's twofold. Let's start with Jacob Mizrachi, who is a phenomenal young pitcher in Milwaukee. Nobody debates whether this guy is special or one of perhaps the most overwhelming pitchers in the world right now, but he was controversially named to the National League All-Star team after only 5 starts at the big league level. There were people arguing that simply is not enough to call somebody an All-Star. Do you have any issue with that?
I do not.
Okay.
It's an exhibition game. I'm sorry. Like, I think sometimes we make too much out of certain things, right? It's an exhibition game. And if you're baseball, you're trying to always cultivate your newer viewers, your newer audiences, your newer fans. And this kid so far has been special. There's no other way to highlight him. He can't be in the home run derby, right? So if you would try to highlight your young talent, it's got to be in the All-Star game. He's not going to start the All-Star game, so it's not like he's taking a spot away from someone like that. And here also my point: if it wasn't him, who was it going to be? And would that person have moved the needle the way this selection has? Probably not, right? So again, it's an exhibition game first and foremost, but secondly, you want to highlight your new talent. And this kid so far has been great. Now, if he fails at the end of the year, you know what? No one's going to even be talking about it by the time we get to October because you're talking about the playoffs. So it's not that big of a deal. We just try to make things too big for whatever reason now, just to have a conversation.
I'm with you. This is a big stage for Major League Baseball. You should be trying to highlight, and it's not ridiculous to put him in the game. I get that it's controversial, but it's not ridiculous. It's controversial, but not ridiculous. And like as a kid,
Gary, it's only controversial because it hasn't happened before.
There you go. Okay.
Right. So let's say next year there's this other kid, and let's say he's a position player, and in 5 starts, so it's multiple weeks. So let's say in 40 games, 30 games, he hits 25 home runs or 20 home runs. You don't want him at the All-Star game? Of course you would. Right. So again, it's just because it hasn't happened before makes it controversial. But to your point, it is far from ridiculous.
It's far from ridiculous. I think Paul Skeens starting the All-Star game as a rookie was a big deal, like a good thing. And I go back to my childhood, like Dwight Gooden becoming the youngest person to ever appear in an All-Star game and then striking out the sign, that is a childhood memory of mine. And that is something I still like show my kids on YouTube sometimes. And so anytime you can create a moment with an All-Star game, I'm for that. And this is a moment. What I'm less enthused about is this aspect of it, because for everybody who makes an All-Star team, there's somebody who doesn't. And in Philadelphia, there's Ranger Suarez, who is having an All-Star level season. And reportedly, MLB reached out to him or his people and said, if we name you an All-Star, can you pitch on Tuesday? And he said, I'm not going to be able to pitch on Tuesday. And they said, okay, well, then you're not an All-Star. And that actually like affects somebody's legacy, the way their Wikipedia page looks, like the way they're talked about forever. For instance, if I ever had Ranger Suarez on the show, and I'm confident I won't, but like I will introduce him someday as, is he a 2-time All-Star, a 5-time All-Star? Like these are the things, these matter. And to particularly in baseball, not get that honor simply because you might have pitched on Saturday or Sunday and not going to be available to pitch on Tuesday, that seems fundamentally wrong to me. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Oh, it's absolutely wrong. If people want to complain about something in selection to the All-Star game, this is it. Not only does it affect, his career numbers and potential legacy, it also affects his pocketbook, because if you were named an All-Star, there's a bonus that goes with that. And if you are worthy of that bonus, then you should get it even if you can't participate, because they've been doing that for decades. There have been all kind of guys made All-Star games and then weren't able to actually participate, mostly pitchers, but they still get the designation, so then they get their bonus, and deservedly so. Like, for me, that speaks more to, corruption may be a strong word, but like, what is baseball really doing here by not acknowledging this person based on how well he's performed? If you're putting Mazeroski there because of how well he's performed, how is Suarez not getting that same treatment? And then plus you're taking that away from him only because he can't participate, when there's other guys who get named and can't participate either.
Yeah, I feel like the solution's pretty simple here. You name the best people, the most deserving people, All-Stars, and then if they can't perform in the All-Star game, you can remove them, but they still get the honor, and then you can replace them with somebody else. I don't know why that didn't happen this year, but it clearly didn't. And I'm a Mets fan, so I don't spend a lot of time feeling sorry for the Phillies, but I think they're right here to be upset by how this was handled by Major League Baseball.
Here's the thing. What if you name Suarez, he couldn't pitch, and then you bring in Mazeroski behind him to replace him? It would look different.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It would totally look different. So again, baseball either not having enough forward thinking or just, continue to screw things up sometimes, just didn't look at the overall landscape of what they were trying to do and make it better for both parties.
That's exactly how they do it, the way you just said it, and then everybody celebrates it. Instead, it's become the controversy on this Monday heading into the All-Star game. Last thing before we let you go, the Open Championship. It is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's in Northern Ireland. That, of course, is the home of Roy McIlroy. Just for those of us who don't know, because I asked this from an honest place. I assume he's the biggest deal in the world in Northern Ireland, but you tell me, like, do they love him like he's their guy and there's nobody even close to it?
Yeah, and here's the thing, though. So it's not just Northern Ireland. It is Ireland as a whole. And if people don't know much about the history of the area, it has a lot to do with Great Britain and England and all the history, and that's why there's Northern Ireland and Ireland are two different places, but they are Irish people, right? And he is a big deal throughout that entire area. And you will see all of that this week. They're really pulling for him to win. And I would assume, it probably wasn't the same amount of pressure he was feeling to win the Masters and finally complete the career Grand Slam, but he wants to win this event again, and he wants to win it, obviously, in his homeland. And that he doesn't get that opportunity every year, right? So that's actually harder to do than win the Masters when you go there every single year. So it will be a lot of pressure on him. He obviously played really well over the weekend at the Scottish Open, and he says his game's in a good place, but trying to make that happen where you grew up, that's a lot of pressure for him. And obviously that is by far the number one storyline going into this tournament this year.
Just one more thing on him specifically, then I'll let you go, because he wins the Masters. It's this massive, all of that weight off of his shoulders. And he even sort of acknowledged that. And despite how he played this past weekend, he has not played well, really, since Augusta, and has even sort of suggested it's because I reached the mountaintop, so to speak, and I haven't handled it well since then. Are you surprised that he kind of did go through a little months-long thing of not really being that competitive after putting on that green jacket?
Yeah, I am personally, because I thought it would go the other way. Like when something happens, there's two ways that can go. You can go the way where he has and sort of fall off a little bit, or it would free you from all of that stress, and then your game just takes off and you play with reckless abandon because you've accomplished everything. So now you can go out there and accomplish anything, right? So I was really thinking it was going to be that as opposed to what we've seen. And maybe for Rory, he had to go through whatever this is to get a better understanding of who he's going to be going forward, right? And if he plays well here and wins this championship, then I think you will see an inspired Rory McIlroy for the remainder of his career, because his motivation will be different now. It will be just about winning those slams and bettering his legacy and resume for all time. But I think a lot will depend on how well he plays. I'm not saying he necessarily has to win, but he has to be in the mix. Like, he has to be, in contention on Sunday for him to really feel that he's in a spot where he can go out next year for the next 4 majors and try to win 1 or 2 of those.
That is Michael Eaves from ESPN. Make sure you're watching him on ESPN, hosting SportsCenter, and, of course, following him on X, at Michael Eaves. That's at Michael Eaves. Thanks so much for your time, buddy. Enjoy Los Angeles. We'll watch the ESPYs, and I'll talk to you next Monday.
All right, sounds good, brother.
We'll see you. Bye-bye. That's Michael Eaves from ESPN. If you're interested in the betting market, Scottie Scheffler, world number 1, is the favorite at Royal Portbush in Northern Ireland to win the Open Championship on Sunday. But the second best odds in the entire field, that is the home favorite, Rory McIlroy. When we come back, Indiana Fever played the Dallas Wings yesterday. High-profile game, ABC. It was the first regular season matchup between former number 1 overall pick Caitlin Clark and the most recent number 1 overall pick, Paige Beckers. It wasn't a competitive game, but there was a big audience for it. Fever win. Caitlin Clark still not shooting it well since coming back from injury. We'll run you through all the numbers. Next, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South.
What can the Memphis Grizzlies learn from the Thunder Pacers NBA Finals Series?
Your style of play is not something that you really have to change. Both of these teams love to play fast. Both these teams love to play really aggressively on the defensive side of the ball.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. And that's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays, in the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and OrthoSouth will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's OrthoSouth at orthosouth.org. Now I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
High-profile game, Gainbridge Fieldhouse, downtown Indianapolis yesterday. It was the Dallas Wings and the Indiana Fever live on ABC. They got that nice window on Sunday afternoon. It was Caitlin Clark, the number 1 pick of the 2024 WNBA draft, and Paige Beckers, the number 1 pick of the 2025 WNBA draft. Final score, 102-83, Fever over Wings. So it wasn't a competitive game, but it was a big stage. And this is the main thing is every few days now in the WNBA schedule, they have one of these high-profile matchups because the stardom is starting to spread a little bit, and this is the latest example. Like, this is something where just 5 years ago, these events in that league did not happen. They did not exist. They had great players and whatever, but these types of events did not exist. Now they're here. You're getting a lot of eyeballs on it. And Caitlin Clark, it was her 3rd game back from injury and still did not shoot it well. Do you have real concerns, Bennett? Do you have real concerns about Caitlin Clark's shooting percentages since returning from injury? Because I can tell you they're not good, and people are starting to whisper.
I think she just got to get back in a rhythm, GP.
You don't think?
I think she just got to get back in a rhythm, GP.
3 games since coming back from injury. In those 3 games, she is 2 of 5 from 3 against Golden State. Back that with a 1 of 7 effort against Atlanta, our Atlanta Dream. And then yesterday, 2 of 7 from beyond the arc against the Dallas Wings. Would it surprise you to know, what do you think Caitlin Clark's shooting from 3 this season? Guess, trivia time. Trivia time. She has a percentage just like everybody else who launches from beyond the arc. What do you think hers is right now?
32%.
She wishes.
Really?
Oh, she wishes.
29%.
She wishes.
Stop.
28.9%. So you can round it up to 29%, but it's 28.9%. Caitlin Clark is shooting 28.9% from three-point range. Does that concern you? Do you have real concerns? People are starting to whisper.
Are they? You know how these injury-riddled seasons go, man.
How do they go?
Yeah, you just never get back in a rhythm. You just never get. Gigi Jackson last season.
It's the same thing.
That's why we're writing off last season.
Right.
Gigi's trajectory was halted because of the injury that he was coming back from last season. Same thing here with Caitlin Clark.
People don't talk about it enough. We should have picked up on this better than most, given where we work and what we do. But we've seen this happen to elite talents in their second season. We've seen this happen.
Exactly.
We've seen this happen.
Well,
look at what Gigi had to go through, and now look at what Caitlin's going through. We've seen this
and
happen.
we expect a massive year 3 out of Gigi. So I think Caitlin, we can assume she'll get back on track during year 2. But I think year 3 is where we're looking. I think year 3 is where we're looking to get that way above 30%.
I'm not willing to punt on year 2. Not quite yet.
I'm not willing to punt.
I'm not punting on year 2.
We're still in the playoffs right now.
But people are starting to whisper.
I hear those whispers.
You know where the whispers are coming from. They're coming from the part of the internet that wants to know, hold up, all y'all do is tell me this
I hate that part of the internet.
Oh, that part of the internet's wild. But they're coming from the part of the internet that says, hold up, y'all keep telling me this is the greatest thing basketball's ever seen. But why is she shoot from 3 like she DeAndre Jordan? People are starting to whisper.
Okay, there's no way he ever shot 28% from 3. Did he even shoot like 2% from 3?
Let me be clear. Luke, Darnell, whoever, do not clip this and put this anywhere. I ain't trying to go on TikTok comparing Caitlin Clark to DeAndre Jordan, all right? I know it ain't going to work well for me on TikTok, all right? So don't clip this. I'm clearly just playing around. But she is shooting 28.9% from 3.
Yeah.
She is having statistically an inferior season than she had last season. Still early, I know. And she's only appeared in 12 games so far this season. Small sample size, I know. But her numbers are down. That's a fact.
Yeah.
I'm just speaking facts. Sorry for speaking facts. But her numbers are down.
I think we'll be all right.
I think she's going to be all right, but stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Okay.
Number 2.
Hugh Freeze. has decided to come out and defend his golf game.
What's Hugh Freeze up to?
Oh, man, you never know, if we're being honest.
I hadn't heard from him in a while. Man, once upon a time, he was ruling the summer
If you
news
never-
cycle.
Don't ask me what Hugh Freeze been up to.
Yeah.
Don't ask such open-ended questions.
Yeah, okay,
all right?
I won't.
Don't put me on the spot like that.
Okay.
All right?
Sorry.
Don't ever put me on the spot like that again. It's Monday morning, all right? We barely getting comfortable in this big studio over here. And for people who don't know, by the way, they're doing construction on the other side of the building.
Yeah.
And for people who don't know, that would be literally everybody except the people who work here. Because why else would you know? They're doing construction on that side of the building, and on that side of the building is where the studio we use is located. So they thought it might be too loud on that side of the building. Although I can tell you, as somebody who has stood on that side of the building all morning, it's not loud at all. I ain't heard a thing.
Oh, there's nothing going on yet?
Oh, it's total silence over there.
I don't think they've started just yet
All
this
right.
morning. So
all right, but that's why we're over here in the big
Okay.
studio. All right, and we're just now getting comfortable over here. And you want to hit me with something as crazy as, so what's Hugh Freeze been up to, buddy? I ain't ready to answer a question like that.
Okay.
All right, I don't think it's my place to answer a question like that. But what I can tell you is that Hugh Freeze has decided to go public and defend his golf game. He's been criticized. His golf game, not his golf game. Nobody's really criticizing his golf game, although he could probably stand to get a little better around the greens, but that goes for all of us. Okay?
Okay.
Auburn fans are upset because they have been monitoring. There's an app, all of us golfers, and I'm not acting. There's an app all of us who spend more time than we should playing golf have on our phone. And it's a USGA handicap app. And like I can go right now and look up Chris Vernon's handicap or, like Hugh Freeze's handicap. So Auburn fans, while they're missing out on recruits and, losing more than they win or more than they would like, are starting to try to figure out, okay, this Hugh Freeze thing used to work, but why ain't it working here? Why ain't it going so well here? And you know what they figured out? According to the app where Hugh Freeze logs his scores so that he can keep his handicap updated like anybody who takes golf that seriously does, Auburn fans have gone in and started comparing how often he logs scores in his app to how often other SEC coaches log scores in their app. And what they have found is Hugh Freeze is logging golf scores way more often than other SEC football coaches. And what they have deduced from that is that the reason Auburn football is in a bad place right now is because the Auburn football coach, Hugh Freeze, plays too much golf.
Interesting. I thought that this was just reserved for presidents, that we monitored how much time they're playing golf. So I guess it's gone to SEC coaches now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It goes. And when it comes to presidents, it only matters how much they play golf depending on who it is.
Fair enough.
You have to understand.
Yeah.
Okay?
Fair enough.
It only matters depending on it only matters which president is playing golf and which channel you're watching.
Right.
Okay? Some presidents can play golf, and on this channel it will not matter. But then another president can play golf, and on this channel it will be the biggest thing in the world, and then vice versa. And so that's sort of the way that worked. But to answer your question, yes, we have now reached a point where we are monitoring the golf outings of SEC football coaches and criticizing them for it. Fair or unfair? What do you think?
I'm going to go with unfair, but, holler at me 3 games into the season.
This is the type of thing that happens when your job isn't going well.
Yeah.
And I'm just always fascinated by when somebody's job doesn't go well, very public job like that job, running an SEC football program. Because that's a very public job. Most people have jobs, and they're just behind the scenes jobs. Like your bosses know if you do your job well, or your coworkers might know if you do your job well. But the general public does not know whether you're good at your job or not. For instance, I go to a baseball game, my kid's baseball game, and there's like 12 sets of parents there. And let's just say, for the sake of the conversation, all 12 of them have like out-of-home jobs. They all have careers. They don't, by the way, but let's, for the sake of the conversation, say that they do. So now I got, let's say, 24 adults that I'm surrounded by every weekend, and they all have jobs. And I can ask all of them, so what do you do? So what is your job? And this person is like, well, I own a pest control business. And this person can be like, well, I'm in medical sales. And this person can be like, well, I run a restaurant or whatever. And here's the truth. I don't have any idea whether they're good at their job or not, right? How would I know? Are you the best medical salesperson or the worst? I have no context for that. I just know what you do if I bothered to listen when you said. But I don't know whether you're good at your job. Most of us don't know whether the people we associate with on a daily basis, we don't know whether they're good at their jobs. But when you are a SEC football coach or anybody who has a very public job, there is like a scoreboard. The scoreboard is in recruiting rankings during the off seasons, and then it transitions to the, conference standings during the season. But there is always a way to tell whether this is going well or not. Your neighbor has a job, Bennett, I assume. You don't know whether it's going well or not. Hugh Freeze has a job. You know whether that one's going well or not. Penny Hardaway has a job. You know whether that one's going well or not, right? These are very public jobs. We can tell. Oh yeah, it's going. How's it going for Chris Beard at Ole Miss? Oh, it looks like it's going pretty well. Well, how's it going for Johnny Dawkins down at UCF? Ooh, buddy, it's not going so well these days. There's a way to keep score. And when it comes to coaches, here's what we do. Not me necessarily, but just people. This is happening to Hugh Freeze right now. When suddenly the scoreboard, the way we determine whether or not you're doing well at your job, when it is indicating that things aren't going well, we automatically have to look for reasons for they're not. And often it just will come down to he's not working hard enough. And that's what this is. Except, do you really think Hugh Freeze started playing golf when he got to Auburn? Because I can tell you he's had a membership at a club here locally for a long, long time. I don't know how much you know about Hugh Freeze, but you can Google it. It seems like he's always had a lot of, and I'm not even trying to be funny. I shouldn't do that. Like, this is a man who, he took his public beatings and was humbled, and his family had to go through that. Like, I don't even feel comfortable making jokes about it. I know I did earlier, and I shouldn't have. It's not funny. Like, that's a real family that had to go through something very hard in a very public way. I imagine that's difficult. And if he paid a price for all of that. My point is a simpler point. The idea that you got to be focused on football 24 hours a day, or else you're not a great football coach, just runs counter to reality. Because Hugh Freeze, I promise you, I would assume at least, is just as focused on his job today as he was in his final 2 years at Ole Miss. And perhaps, given everything we know, and again, I'm not trying to make jokes, I'm just speaking, he might be more focused on like his job today than he was in his last years at Ole Miss. We all know the Ole Miss stuff was amazing on the field. This one isn't going as well. But is it because he spends 3.5 hours twice a week on a golf course? Or is it possible there's just some other factors that are in play? The most obvious one being that these are very hard jobs and not everybody can win. And some guys who are making $5 million a year are going to lose. Recruiting battles first and then football games after that. I just think it's kind of a fool's errand to always assume when somebody's job isn't going well that it's because of things that probably have very little to do with it. If you want to know why Hugh Freeze hasn't just hit a home run at Auburn, it is probably because the job's more difficult than you realize. The profession is constantly changing. And in a league like that, yeah, somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose. But everybody, with few exceptions, expects to be at least decent and respectable. And every school in that league is paying millions and millions of dollars to their football staffs. And by definition, they can't all be successful. Somebody's got to be on the wrong end of things. It's been Auburn a little more than it should be, probably, in recent years. But is it because Hugh Freeze plays golf a lot? I doubt it. I doubt that's it. But it has gotten to a point, this is the part that's interesting, to why this is a headline right now. It's gotten to a point where he felt compelled to talk about it publicly. He's feeling that pressure. So imagine what that's like. I want to just go, because he even talked about this. Sometimes me and my wife, after work, go get the golf cart and we go out and we hit balls around for a couple of hours. So think about this for a second. If the story was every day when Hugh Freeze leaves the office, he goes and sits down with his family and has a dinner as a family, we'd be like, well, that's sweet. That's good life balance, work-life balance. But because he might go with his wife and play 9 holes of golf, it's this guy doesn't work hard enough. What? I think you need stuff outside of your work. I think if you're actually, and you talk to most people who had those types of professions, they'll tell you you need to escape. You need to break away. And a golf course is an excellent place to just break away. Get out there with your friends or your wife, or anybody, your kids, and you're outside. It's just birds, beautiful. I like detaching on a golf course. I won't blame other people for doing it, but I do know this. So I played a golf course where, the tee times were online. So I can go to make a tee time and I can see everybody who's playing, who gets on the tee sheet, right? So if I have a 10:15 tee time, I can see everybody that's got a 7:45 tee time, 8:15 tee time. It's all on a screen. I'm looking at it. There are people who are members at this golf course and they will not jump on that tee sheet like that on a weekday, because they know people will, like coworkers, and people will see that, or it'll get screenshot and passed around. Oh, did you see what so-and-so was doing Thursday morning? He was out at the golf course. I saw him on the tee sheet. It's like, well, I don't want people thinking I'm not working hard enough. So they'll stay off of the tee sheet and call it in and be like, hey, I'm just going to put me down for 8:15. But they don't want to get on the computer. They don't want to be on the online thing because they don't want people to think they're not working hard enough. And Hugh Freeze on some level has reached that point. He's going to go play golf at some point in the next week, and he'll debate with himself and then probably lean toward, I'm not even going to post this score to keep up with my handicap because I know it'll be used against me, my own fan base, if we lose a game early. That's the point Hugh Freeze has reached. Paychecks are good, though. I guess that's what the paychecks are for, though, right, Bennett? I guess that's what the paychecks are for.
Number 3.
Hey, it was a big weekend for WWE. We had a Saturday night's main event in prime time on NBC on Saturday night.
Yeah, Goldberg had his final match for the 100th time.
So let's just start.
That was nice.
You didn't get...
No.
They said this was the last one.
Okay, I've heard that 1,000 times.
He had more than 100 family and friends there in attendance.
That's awesome.
They said this is the end.
Yeah.
Oh, I was moved. You didn't think you weren't moved?
No.
You weren't moved by Goldberg at the end.
I'm not. I'm not the biggest fan.
Somebody said, can you believe he lost? If it was his final match, why didn't he go out a winner?
You never go out a winner. That's the WWE rule, man. You don't get to go out with a win.
And in fact,
you lose and then you ride off into the sunset because you're now a loser. That's always been their motto.
But that's the rule of sports. I actually think that lines up perfectly with sports. So I guess on some hand, you turn into NBC on Saturday night if you were a wrestling fan of a certain age. Mm-hmm. It's like, I want to see Goldberg go out on top. But that's not how it works. We just watched Mike Tyson lose to Jake Paul. That's probably the last time we see Mike Tyson in a boxing ring.
Yep.
The last time we see Goldberg in a wrestling ring, theoretically, he loses to Gunther.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, the last time we see Mike Tyson in a boxing ring, theoretically, he loses to Jake Paul. Think about the last time you see Muhammad Ali in a boxing ring. The last time you see most people in individual sports, the last time you see them, it is not good.
Right.
Serena. I mean.
No, it's true. Yeah. I'm trying to think of a instance when somebody went out on top and then.
Technically, Floyd Mayweather, I guess, finished his career undefeated.
Yeah, but you can manipulate that stuff for your opponents and all that stuff. Yeah.
And he did. Floyd was the master at, he would go get you a year later than you should have been in the ring with him, or he'll go get you 2 years earlier. He waited Pacquiao out and let him get old and become a diminished version. And then he recognized Canelo Alvarez was becoming a star. He was like, I don't want to get in the ring with this guy in 2 years, but I'll get him now. I'll go get him right now. He's good at that.
UFC is the one where the guys retire on, Khabib, one of the greatest ever, retired on top. He was at the peak of his powers and he retires,
But even that, who's the most famous UFC guy of the past decade, 15 years, whatever? Famous, not best.
Yeah,
famous.
McGregor, and he didn't. That's
Think
true.
about it. Think about when's the last time you saw him in the octagon? Did it go well?
That's true. I mean, those kind of the injuries, but yeah, no, that's true.
I actually like that wrestling sort of emulates
actual sports.
other individual sports. Serena doesn't go out on top. She limps off the court as a diminished version of herself. Mike Tyson doesn't go out on top. Muhammad Ali doesn't go out on top. Most of our greats, we watch them walk away in defeat. So that made sense to me that Goldberg would have.
Yeah.
And I realize we're talking about this. I realize how stupid this
Hey,
must
he's
sound.
a legend.
I realize how stupid this
It's
sounds.
not stupid to me, damn it.
I
It's
realize
real to me.
I realize how stupid it sounds. It's not lost on me. But I kind of liked that happened. And then, even before that happened, so it was just sort of interesting to watch live because you get an LA Knight Seth Rollins match that clearly gets cut short.
Yeah.
Because of what appears to be a legitimate Seth Rollins injury. And I was like, buddy, there's 35 minutes left in this television show. Because that's what it is. It's a television show. And you got a 54-year-old coming out of retirement. Is he going to be able to fill this time? Or are they going to have to stall it out? But they didn't really stall it out, and then they did fill the time, and it was fine. But that was the other interesting thing that happened on Saturday night. Seth Rollins, who has sort of become the centerpiece of the storyline, while Roman Reigns is away at least, suffers what we now know. It looked in real time like it was a legitimate injury. And
man.
They have now confirmed. We're trying to figure out. MRI, I believe, is scheduled for today. They're trying to figure out how big of a deal it is. But if we have it lined up and we can show it, like you can see the knee buckle. If you watch basketball, you see stuff like this all the time. It happened to Seth Rollins on Saturday night. Let's see.
I think we got it. I don't know. So I don't know if we have it or not. But he's had a ton of knee injuries in the past. Like, that's bad.
Well, I heard some other people, and I guess we don't have it, but I heard some other people say like, yo, you have a history of knee injuries. Why are you jumping and trying to land like that? I don't know. That's not for me to say.
Well, he's a wrestler.
That's not for me to say. Look, watch this buckle. Boom.
It
and then immediately grabs it.
Yeah, it didn't look like anything.
But you could tell. Then he goes to the corner. They bring the doctors
you knew
out.
He was really
and
hurt.
I thought this was interesting. You got to be more of a wrestling nerd than even I am to understand this. But like, they could have just like said he can't continue and just. But he like took the loss. They say a clean win for LA Knight. They he took the loss. He like went out there and like ended it. But he didn't have to do that. So I don't know what the idea was behind that. But either way, that was Saturday night.
He's a pros pro.
He's a pros pro, I guess. And then on Sunday, we get an all-women's card, high profile. And I guess the title match is Rhea Ripley, Io Sky. But then Naomi cashes in Money in the Bank.
I love a Money in the Bank cash in.
I love a good cash in.
It's good.
I love a good cash in.
Rollins probably had the best one ever at WrestleMania. The one it was the one in Phoenix, I think. I mean, because he cashes in and wins the title. But yeah, man, there's nothing like a cash in.
So Naomi comes out. She's got the Money in the Bank thing. She can cash in whatever. What that means, if you're not a complete nerd like the rest of us, you could just decide you're going to be in a title match immediately. You just get to jump in it and just fight for the title.
Yeah.
So she jumps in, she hits somebody with a bang and hits somebody else and then pin 1, 2, 3. Naomi's a world champion now.
I love it.
What a come up for her. I like the women's division now.
Oh, Evolution was, and I know Saturday Night Main Event, it's network TV and not like a premium live event like Evolution was. Evolution was way better, way more compelling than that Saturday Night
Am I
Main
right
Event
about
thing.
this? Tell me if I'm right about this. Are there more compelling women superstars right now than men?
Okay.
Because like here's
Let's
all the
think
people.
about it.
Here's all the people I like. Let me tell you who I like
Okay.
on the women's side. I love Becky Lynch. I love Becky Lynch. I love the man.
Okay.
I love Becky Lynch. I love Naomi. I love Bianca. I love Jade Cargill. I love Liv Morgan. I love Tiffany Stratus. I love.
You're taking a long time to get to the greatest.
I love Tiffany Stratton. I don't mind Charlotte. I like Charlotte Flair.
Dude, she carries it.
I love Charlotte Flair.
People hate on her. She carries every match that she's in. She was destroying people in that match.
I like Bayley. I like
Bayley too.
I am more interested in the women's superstars than the men's superstars. What does that say? What does that tell you? Tell me what that tells you.
Well, I mean, that's why they got their own premium live event, man. I think I thought it was really good. I think Naomi is a worthy champion. I'm not sure I like her new gimmick, though. I liked the glow. Feel the glow? When she comes out and the lights all cut down and she's got on like the suit that like has like the glow sticks on it and stuff. She gets in the ring and does like the glow dance and stuff.
She's evolving as a character.
Yeah, but I like the glow gimmick. I thought it was better. What's this new one with the caution tape? I don't get that. I'm not a fan.
She's evolving as a character.
I'm not loving that. Go back to the glow.
I'm all for it.
Give me the glow.
Get rid of the men, as far as I'm concerned. Just give me the women superstars.
Let's go.
I don't need the men. The men like to go off and make movies and do all that nonsense.
I would like to see a Charlotte.
Rhea Ripley. I see somebody in the chat. I didn't even mention Rhea Ripley.
Her and Charlotte are the goats.
Like she's like should be the best, right? They're just there's a lot of interesting women, and not as many interesting men. That's what I say. That's what I'm saying.
We need the OTC back. We need the OTC back bad. Don't retire, GOAT.
Please don't retire,
or
GOAT.
don't do that half-retired thing. Don't do that. We need you. We need you weekly.
Woo. Man. Yeah. All right.
We miss him.
Number 4.
Okay, we already talked men's Wimbledon final. That was Sinner and Alcaraz.
Mm-hmm.
That was the headliner. But I wanted to circle back to this one because I actually spent time on it on Friday.
Yeah.
I tried to get you fired up. Oh, man, it didn't go well.
Like, at all.
I told you about Amanda Anisimova, 23 years old, from New Jersey. Had surprisingly advanced all the way to the Wimbledon final. Was she going to be an underdog? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Crazier things have happened, though, Bennett.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to tell you. And if you can beat the world number one in a semifinal, why can't you beat anybody in a final? So Amanda Anisimova, she ends up in this Wimbledon final. It's her first Grand Slam final. She has the opportunity to become the first woman, American woman, since Serena to win the Wimbledon's individual since 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And the first American woman besides Venus or Serena to win the individual title at Wimbledon since Lindsay Davenport in 1999. So I said, okay. Started to get a little USA chant going. USA.
Mm-hmm.
USA. Iga Swiatek was the opponent.
Yeah. Oh, I was locked in. I sprinkled a little bit. I was locked in.
6-0, 6-0.
Yeah.
57 minutes. 6-0, 6-0.
That's about as bad as it gets.
It's literally as bad as it gets.
It's as bad as it gets. Yeah.
It is only the second time this has ever happened in a Wimbledon final, Grand Slam final. And she's in tears on the court afterwards.
I don't like that. Okay, the one thing that I don't like about Wimbledon, and maybe they do it at all these big tennis tournaments, but I notice it at Wimbledon because I watch the final every year. I don't think we need to see the loser talk after the match.
Well, see, I thought Alcaraz was great yesterday.
I thought he was great too, but like, come on.
I thought the Alcaraz center thing yesterday was just sweet. It was like two elite young talents. And I think it's helpful not to be too American for you, but I do think it's helpful that like the greatest young tennis player from Italy and the greatest young tennis player from Spain, they both speak English. I think that's helpful if you're trying to not create but grow an audience in America. It's just helpful when people are speaking English. I apologize. It's just helpful. And they both speak English, and they both in that interview setting showed like incredible respect for each other. And I thought Alcaraz was just like,
I thought
he was great.
Bummed he lost. I'm a big fan, and that's actually going to be fun. I heard I can't think of who was on the broadcast, but he was saying we're gonna see those dudes face off in big tennis finals for like the next 15 years.
Well, like I said to Michael Eaves, it will not go this way. But the way it feels right now is that 4 Sundays a year I will watch those two men play against each other.
Yeah,
U.S.
sure.
Open, Australian Open, Wimbledon, and French Open. It won't go that way. Somebody will get upset. Somebody will pull a hamstring. Life will get in the way. But that's it. These are the two next great things.
Yep.
And I thought their post-match interviews on the court were terrific, both of them. So I didn't mind seeing Alcaraz, the loser, as you say, speak in that setting. But for Amanda, it was just rough. It's just, I can't imagine what that's like. Think about this. You go to bed on Friday night thinking tomorrow morning I have an opportunity to achieve in something I've dreamt about since I was a little girl. I'm going to be center court at Wimbledon with a chance to become the first American woman since Serena to bring this trophy back home to the United States. And you go to bed with those thoughts. And then what actually happens is it becomes the worst experience of your professional life. You go to bed assuming it could be, not assuming it could be, knowing it could be, theoretically, the greatest professional experience of your life. And it actually becomes the worst professional experience of your life. You feel humiliated on the court. You feel like you don't belong. 6-0, 6-0. That's now how you'll be remembered. You're a trivia question now. You'll show up on Jeopardy someday. You'll show up on Jeopardy someday. That's rough.
Yeah, it was tough to watch.
It was tough to watch.
What happened? By the way, this is how much of a novice I am. What happened to Coco? I thought she was because she got upset in this thing early, really early, and she was supposed to be the next big star, American star, and it's just not.
Well, I don't think any. Here's the thing: we think of stars like, well, I thought she was supposed to be a star, like Serena. Well, like Serena.
No one's Serena.
No one's Serena.
That's a good point.
Like Serena's Serena, Tiger's Tiger. And they die.
There's not a next.
Like
right?
Scotty Scheffler's getting like he's not Tiger, but he's like gotten he's at least gotten close to the conversation. But there's just nobody like that.
Right. Good point.
Serena really had no rival. Like you talk about, and I don't want to get the years mixed up, but it's like Chris Everett, Martina Navratilova. If it's Agassi, Sampras, or Mike throw Jim Courier in there once upon a time, Nadal, Federer, Djokovic. Serena was more like Tiger in the sense that, there were other good, accomplished tennis players in her era, but she was just so clearly better than everybody else. Like Tiger was so clearly better than everybody else. Phil Mickelson, top 10 golfer of all time. Tiger Woods, clearly better than him in his prime and everybody else. Serena was that. So now I think, and I'm a little bit over my skis here, I'm not a tennis expert, but I think sometimes when Coco Gauff wins a major or a Grand Slam and then like doesn't win one for a year or two, it's like, well, what's wrong with her? She's just normal. She's not Serena.
Yeah.
She's great, but she's not Serena. So like that's to be held to the Serena standard is ridiculous. But back to this woman, I just felt sick for her. I can't, because I think about it strictly from that perspective. You go to bed going, this is amazing. I have just put myself in this incredible opportunity. And then it becomes the worst professional experience of your life. You know what it oddly made me think of? You remember a few years ago, this is several years ago now, but there was a doubleheader week 1 Monday Night Football, and there was a sideline reporter, and they went to him for his opening hit of the game, and
God, what was his name? I remember that. It was
but you
legendary.
know exactly who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And he just threw up on himself. Not literally, but he just couldn't get his words out. And he just really struggled and it was bad. It looked like they had just thrown Monday Night Football down to a high school sideline reporter, and they just were struggling with their words. And that guy goes viral, and he gets ridiculed, and I don't know that we've ever heard from him again in a meaningful way. They did not go back to him that game. If you remember that, wildly unusual. They just gave up on the sideline reporter. I mean, you've never seen that before.
No.
They just gave up on the sideline reporter.
And then people tried to rally behind him because they were like, come on, give him another chance.
And they wouldn't put him back on TV.
Right.
They tried to put him on TV once, and it went so badly, they just did not put him back on TV.
I want to say he landed on his feet because I want to say that he popped up somewhere not too long ago. People were like, hey,
he might have landed on his
made
feet,
it,
but he ain't never done another hit on Monday Night Football.
Right.
And it was like, I remember thinking about that. It must be a dream. It's like, hey, we got you on opening night, Monday Night Football. You're going to be our sideline reporter on ESPN. Holy God. What an incredible opportunity. And then it quickly becomes the worst professional experience of your life. That's tough. And that's what Amanda went through this weekend. Hopefully it's nowhere but up from here.
Yeah.
But that was tough to watch. 6 love on that stage. Whew. You never hope it's going to go that way. Unless, of course, you're on the right side of it, then congratulations. Yeah. But nowhere to go but up from here, right?
Yeah.
Number 5.
Home Run Derby is tonight, Big Bet Bennett.
Oh, I didn't know it was tonight. Is it tonight?
Home Run Derby's tonight.
Okay.
Home Run Derby's tonight. This is what we're doing tonight.
All right.
You ready to... You ready to pick a winner?
Yeah, I think so. Let me get my list pulled up. Hang on.
Did Ronald Acuna pull out of it? Because I'm looking at updated odds, and he's not listed. Bennett.
Hang on, I'm pulling up my home run derby, people, dude. Are you sure?
I do not see Ronald Acuna listed here. You do some research over there and see if Ronald Acuna pulled out of this thing. Either way.
I don't see him on here.
Kyra's telling us that Matt Olson has replaced Ronald Acuna. Why did Ronald Acuna pull out?
All right, so I got my list. This is someone. I kind of like this one because you can really just go anywhere.
Sore back. Ronald Acuna out of the home run derby with a sore back.
Sore back from carrying the Braves.
Matt
Okay.
Olson, sore back from carrying the Braves since he returned from injury. So that means tonight, Big Bet Bennett, just let me run you through it. I feel like we've already wasted too much time on this nonsense. Cal Raleigh is going to be your favorite at plus 300, followed by O'Neal Cruz at plus 310. For our purposes, it's all about Brent Rooker from the Athletics, ECS graduate. He is at plus 1,000. He's got the second to worst odds to win the whole thing, ahead of only Jazz Chisholm from the New York Yankees. But whatever. Crazier things have happened, Big Bet Bennett. Brent Rooker, Brent Rooker, who's set in the studio with Chris Vernon show.
Yeah.
He will be in the home run derby tonight at plus 1,000. I think we're going to have to play it, Bennett. You going to play it?
There's no question.
I think you got to play it at plus 1,000.
Yeah, there's no question that I'm going with him because I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm familiar with like a lot of these guys, like what they've been doing this season. So yeah,
well, most of the stars just aren't in this.
That's right. This is one of the least star-studded home run derbies we've had in a long time.
I really think that's true. This is one of the least
years.
Oh yeah, because we have had Pete Alonso in this. Aaron Judge has done this, but tonight we will have no Aaron Judge, no Pete Alonso, no Juan Soto, no Shohei Ohtani, no Ellie De La Cruz. There really aren't. It looks more like a slam dunk competition than a home run derby. We don't have the stars.
It's
here.
also like
no Kyle Schwarber.
Well, none of the guys are on teams that are leading their division, right? I don't think. No.
Has the home run derby gone the way of the slam dunk competition, where the stars are sitting it out more than we would like?
Interesting.
It is interesting, Bennett.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go with Brent, like everybody else, because I think we have to.
We have to.
Dark horse. Let's go with Byron Buxton.
Bennett wants to go with Byron Buxton.
I got no. I was gonna try to give you something. I got nothing.
My heart is with Brent Rooker. I think Jazz Chisholm might be the most fun because he's fun.
Yeah, but he ain't gonna have the stamina for it. He's not a big.
He's a little guy.
He's not a big enough guy.
Little guy. Little guy.
You need like the big burly dudes win the home run derby.
Pete Alonso.
Yes.
You got to be. You know what you have to do to win a home run derby? You have to be able to miss balls and still get them out of the park.
Yeah, that's right.
Pete Alonso can miss balls and get them out of the park because he's big and strong. That's how he's won 2 home run derbies. Jazz Chisholm on the smaller side. We'll see. Dark horse pick Matt Olson. I'll take Matt Olson. Hometown hero.
Okay.
Matt Olson.
Okay.
Home run derby tonight. Go Brent Rooker. We're rooting for Brent Rooker.
We're rooting for Brent. Let's
Plus
go.
1,000. You can make your plays. We'll be back with GP's carryout.
We are drafting our best movies of the 21st century.
Arguably the greatest superhero movie of all time. I'll go with Dark Knight.
That was going to be my
Give it to me. Give it to me, Dark Knight.
I'm sorry. I already hate this draft.
Yeah.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Creed. By overwhelming demand, the Summer of '99 tour returns. July 27th, FedEx Forum. With very special guest, Daughtry. And Mammoth. Tickets on sale now at LiveNation.com. Don't miss Creed with Daughtry and Mammoth. The Summer of '99 tour.
1, 2, 3. Ready, go.
and you hear the crowd. There's some rumblings in the crowd.
Here we go.
They say, "We want truth."
I love how John Cena said when they were chanting, "We want truth." You can't handle the truth.
There you go.
I loved it.
He takes me off, boom. Takes the mask off, boom. And it's our freaking truth. God, man, he cost John Cena the match.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
Parrish Show presented by Ortho South. Let's wrap this up with GP's Carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we learn today?
A whole bunch of stuff, but we mostly focused on your Memphis Grizzlies because Las Vegas Summer League continues to unfold out in Nevada. And the Grizzlies are now 1-1 after losing on Friday afternoon and then bouncing back on Saturday night with a victory. So Game 3 is set for tomorrow. That's going to be Summer Warriors and Summer Grizzlies. 9:30 p.m. tip, Central Time. That's a 9:15 pregame. You in studio for that one, Bennett?
I'm not in studio for that one. Man, the one the other night, we didn't start till about an hour later than originally planned.
What time did you get out of here? Did you close the door?
It was well after midnight. I think it was before 1 a.m., but it was well after. Yeah, it was a long one. Well, we had a great time. It was me, Jarvo, and Lang. We had a great time. They had fireworks at the
so that was
at
nice.
AutoZone Park. We got to see fireworks.
So you got to see fireworks.
We went on air as the fireworks show was going on. It felt magical almost. It was amazing. And then we got a win.
And a win. So a magical fireworks experience and then a victory. That's a wonderful Saturday night.
Hey, can I say one thing real quick?
You can say two things real quick.
Well, you asked me in the first segment, just like any takeaways or anything like that. One other thing I wanted to mention, Jemai Meshack, like he didn't have a huge game offensively, and we've talked about how that's something that he's just going to have to, add to his game if he wants to be able to play real NBA minutes. Dude, I will say, we talk a lot about the defense just watching it. The game, like, I guess the best way I could describe him watching him play is there's no hesitation in his game. He is very, very sure about what he's doing out there. Like with the passes, getting in lanes, getting steals, stuff. Like he knows where to be and he knows where to put the ball. And I think that's something that is really, really going to benefit him in this team.
You know what they say.
Yeah.
He has that dog in him.
Yeah, man. I just watching him, I'm like, man, that dude he just knows how to play.
He has the dog in him.
Yeah.
He has that dog in him, and it's showing up in Summer League. Perhaps you get to see him again tomorrow night, 9:15 pregame, 9:30 tip on the Grind City Media app.
What's today's biggest game?
I'm going to take you to Wintrust Arena in Chicago. It's the Minnesota Lynx against the Chicago Sky.
Oh, let's go.
That's Angel Reese in the Chicago Sky. Hey, Bennett, if you don't mind, credit where credit is due. Because while Caitlin Clark's out there missing every shot she takes just about, guess who ain't? Angel Reese.
That's why she's the 2K cover athlete.
I guess so.
That's why.
I guess so.
They knew.
In all seriousness, this weekend, 8 of 14 from the field, 19 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, and an 87-81 victory over the Lynx. It was her 6th straight double-double. Yeah, she had 6 turnovers as well. That's not great. But she finished +7 in the game, 6 straight double-doubles, and she got 19 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, and a victory over the Lynx. So tonight, they're doing it again, Bennett. Oh, they're doing it again. The betting markets expect the Lynx to bounce back. Minnesota -2.5. Totals 161.5.
No, 10.5.
I said 10.5.
Oh, I thought you said 2.5.
10.5. Lynx minus 10.5. The total's 161.5. How you gonna act? How you gonna act?
I'll still take the Lynx at minus 10.5.
How many times is Angel Reese gonna have to make you look like a silly
Well, you know I'm
person?
a huge fan.
How many times is Angel Reese gonna have to make you look silly?
I just feel like, they got him the other night, and the Sky, they're not very good. The Lynx are the best team in the league.
The Lynx are 18-4. The Sky are 7-13. But that's what makes it even more impressive. Angel Reese and the Sky, they upset them on Saturday. But you're saying it won't happen again.
No. I think it's a bounce back effort from the
Then
Lynx.
it says the Lynx are bouncing back tonight. He's laying the 10.5.
Yeah.
Tip is at 7 o'clock. It's a WNBA showdown.
What are we watching on TV?
Can I interest you in Jim Abbott's Southpaw?
Sure.
DVR'd it. It debuted last night on ESPN at 8 o'clock. We were doing other things, so we didn't have time to watch it. But I did DVR it. Are you too young to remember Jim Abbott? Do you have a recollection?
Boxer?
No, you don't know Jim Abbott.
Oh, you
it's
said
fine. You're
Southpaw.
young. Southpaw. He's a pitcher.
Okay.
He's a pitcher. He was born with one hand. He's the one-handed pitcher. You don't know Jim Abbott.
What era was this?
Mid-90s, late 80s, mid-90s.
I don't really remember him.
Jim Abbott. Okay. Oh, let me educate you then. Jim Abbott is now 57 years old. He came up with the Angels in 1989, and famously, he's born with one hand. He has a left hand and a right, I don't know how to say it. I'm not trying to be cute, but it's like a nub.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. And he would just sort of drape a glove over his nub, throw the ball, and then as he released the ball, slide his hand into the glove, and now he's ready to field. He was a one-handed pitcher in the major leagues. He threw a no-hitter with the New York Yankees. He threw a no-hitter one hand.
How did I not know this?
Well, you're just too young.
I feel like we didn't properly appreciate this as a country.
We might not have properly appreciated this as a country.
At least now he's got a documentary.
Now he has a documentary. True story. I'll let you decide whether it's interesting or not. True story.
Okay.
I'm an intern, Birmingham Post-Herald, after my junior year of college. And so I'm living down in Birmingham, Alabama, just doing whatever it is they tell me to do. And I got to do some really cool things. I went and played golf, or at least rode around on a golf court while he was playing golf with Bart Starr.
That's cool.
I just spent 18 holes riding around with Bart Starr.
About that.
Watching him play golf while I interviewed him because I was working on some Bart Starr story.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was neat. And so at some point, Jim Abbott signs with the Chicago White Sox. He's this is after he's become a star and after he's thrown his no-hitter, and now he's trying to get back in the game.
Yeah, I got you.
He signed with the Chicago White Sox. They assign him, I guess it must have been to the Birmingham Barons, and they're playing the Chattanooga Lookouts in Chattanooga.
All right.
So my assignment was drive up to Chattanooga, and I had carved out, I'm going to spend an hour pregame with Jim Abbott. And it was, as I remember it, the first cool thing I did as a, quote, reporter. Jim Abbott I had his rookie card. I watched this guy as a kid, and now I'm sitting in front of him as a junior in college in the clubhouse doing an entire interview with Jim Abbott. And the whole time, I'll never forget this, he had fingernail clippers, and he was clipping his little nub like he had fingernails in that nub. You wouldn't assume that, I don't guess. I don't know.
You wouldn't assume that. No, I've got to confirm too if you can say nub or not. I don't know if that's a.
Well, that's what I'm sorry.
I don't know if
you
that's
can't.
appropriate.
If you can't,
I don't know. I
what
can't
would you
confirm.
say? If I showed you a picture of it, that's what you would call it. Perhaps it's not okay anymore. But if I showed you a picture of it, it was just me and you. Like if you were over at my house and I said, "Look at this. What do you think that is?" That's what you would say. You would say the same thing.
I would say his. No, I might say nub. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know what else you would say.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
If you tell me I can't say it, I'll never say it again. But that's what you would call it.
I'll check off
That's
there
what
and
you
let
check
you know.
on it. Let me know.
Yeah.
I'll remove it from my vocabulary if I need to. I'll remove it if I need to. But that's what you would call it.
I think you're good.
That was my memory. All right.
I think you're good.
Anyway, I got to spend time with Jim Abbott, and I found him to be pleasant and awesome, and I remember it as a great experience. I love
That's
Jim
awesome.
Abbott. I love Jim Abbott.
Where can I watch this?
On the ESPN app right now.
Okay.
I DVR'd it, but I'm gonna sit down and watch it with my boys. Like I want them to know the story of Jim Abbott. I don't want them going through life like you, not knowing the story of Jim Abbott.
I know, man.
So I'm gonna
I
sit
feel
down
like
with my
I have
boys.
to watch this.
I want my boys to watch the Jim Abbott documentary, and then I'll tell them that same story, and perhaps I'll come up with a better word for that part of his body.
Sounds good.
All right.
What's the best thing we've read?
Right now, over at CBSSports.com, they got NFL coach rankings. Who do you think is ranked as the number one coach in the NFL by CBSSports.com?
Andy Reid.
Andy Reid is number one. Ding, ding, ding from the Kansas City Chiefs. Number 2, Sean McVay. Number 3, John Harbaugh from the Baltimore Ravens. If you want to see their coaching rankings, you can find it on the homepage right now.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow's Tuesday, so we'll be getting ready for Grizz Warriors Summer League. And I'm sure we'll have a new LeBron James Lakers story, so that'll be fun.
God, I hope so.
That'll be a blast. That'll be a blast. Should be a fun show. Should be a fun day. I'm looking forward to it already. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to enjoy mine. We're going to meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.